Welcome back, video creeps. First and foremost, remember to like this video and then share it. Man, that Shout Factory box set was something special. It was pretty damn cool. I mean, just look at it. It's perfect. It's like when two people have a baby that are beautiful and then their baby is beautiful. Such a star, that Jason Voorhees. Such a staple in our community. Definitely a franchise that's not gonna let up, and it's never gonna stop. No matter, oh wait, what was that? Weak. Remember, watch the whole video. Don't be a bitch. Now, Friday the 13th is a 1980s slasher film. But let's be real here, it's fucking so much more than that. It was a TV show, a novel, a comic book series. There's even more than one video game for it, and it has like it's like 12 movies. Talk about big dick energy, son. Now, through and through, the conception of this film was to match the colossal success that 1978's Halloween just saw, which Halloween raked in like $60 to $70 million on like a $300,000 budget. Friday was made for like $550K, and then they ended up pulling in like $60 million. Fucking dollar bills, y'all. They're making money. Which, by the way, that whole like Halloween thing is hysterical because John Carpenter does not fuck with Friday the 13th. He straight up said in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter that while Texas Chainsaw Massacre is artistic, Friday the 13th is cheap and cynical. Shade grenade from Papa Inspiration himself. And how could he not? Like, with his budget, he had $250K less than the dudes from fucking Friday the 13th and made more money. Because he was like, my shit was pure, it came from the heart. Though, to be fair, John Carpenter talks shit about most 1980s horror films because he thinks like everybody's just trying to rip off Michael Myers. Okay, superiority complex, your ego is showing. Now, Friday the 13th was originally created by Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller. Sean had finished working on a couple of kids shows. He did a Bad News Bears ripoff called Here Come the Tigers. And honestly, going forward, like overall, the guy kind of just has an awesome resume. He worked on House 1 and House 2, Last House on the Left, and honestly has really stuck by the Friday the 13th franchise. Meanwhile, Victor, who wrote the screenplay to Friday the 13th, has never been involved in another Friday the 13th project. Yeah, but you know, don't feel too bad for the guy. He got to work on Jury Duty with Pauly Shore. Not all of us can be lions. Some of us have to be weasels. And that's a Pauly Shore joke for the younger ones that are watching. Kiddies, if you don't know who Pauly Shore is, why don't you go online and wheeze the juice? The guys got right to work hiring a bunch of nobody teenagers. Even though at the time, fucking Kevin Bacon, he was on the incline. And of course, they got the infamous Betsy Palmer, who only took the role of Pamela Voorhees, by the way, because she needed a new car and thought nobody would watch this shit. It's industrious. You were wrong, but damn industrious. After filming for like a month, literally like the whole it was like September 4th to like October 3rd. And then Paramount just started running ads for the movie. Like they weren't even finished actually making the movie yet, which was the right thing to do because people fucking dug it. And we kept making Friday the 13th movies up until 2009, though admittedly we stalled through the fucking 90s. Now, Paramount would stall making rapid successions to the last film until they give the rights to New Line Cinema. In 2018, after they failed to put out a Friday the 13th within 5 years. And then it all stopped. 2009 was a long fucking time ago, guys. Think of all the horror movies that have come and gone since then. Not once has Jason picked up a machete and killed a couple people for us. And like, yeah, a video game did come out eventually, but I'm talking about seeing Jason on that big screen. Our boy has been absent to class for like 12 years. If your girlfriend didn't come home for 12 hours, you would just assume after a while that she broke up with you. A full 24 hours, and it's like she died. I don't know who to call. So how is it that this incredible franchise can come to such a full stop, especially after hitting it for 30 years? Where the fuck is Jason Voorhees? Again, we're gonna circle back to that video game in just a bit, but the answer is a long drawn out lawsuit over the rights of Friday the 13th. Now, we've been using this excuse forever, but Does anyone know exactly what's going on with this lawsuit? Because it's convoluted. Who owns the rights to Friday the 13th? Who owns the right to Jason Voorhees? Because the two are not mutually exclusive. In 2017, Gun Media released Friday the 13th for console gaming. It's an online survival game where you can play as Jason, or you can run around trying to evade him as the camp counselor. It's pretty dope. I've put my hours in. And the game was doing well. It was getting good acclaim from people, even outside of the horror community, and the game was making decent sales. However, in the summer of 2018, any additional content that was being filtered into the game had to cease right away, bringing everything to a grinding halt and revealing to the fan base that simultaneously there was an ongoing legal battle raging between Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller.
I'm not your buddy, friend. He's not your friend, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy.
By this point, as most of us know, a cute little quirk in the US copyright laws actually allows the original author of a written work to actually revoke a previous copyright agreement 35 years after it has been originally established. And that is exactly what Jury Duty Miller set out to do, attempting to reclaim the entire franchise and all of its surrounding properties, which were formerly being controlled by Cunningham's Horror Inc. Now remember, Cunningham has kind of been there, certainly more than Miller. He has credits in Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, even the 2009 remake. So in his mind, this is his motherfucking franchise. Victor, hello, where the fuck you been? And he pushed back hard with that, saying that Miller's script was a condition of work for hire. That was his title and nothing more. So according to applicable laws, the work and its intellectual property belongs to Miller's employer. Like writing a sketch for SNL or Mad TV. You wrote it, but that's Mad TV shit. So Cunningham is like, you're trying to screw me out of the thing that I've been working on for years when I'm the one that hired you in the first place. This led to a protracted court case between these two feuding creators. And for a short period, it looked like Miller was gonna take it all, and all of the legal proceedings were gonna come to an end, which ultimately did happen, with Victor Miller winning the lawsuit, allowing him full creative ownership. However, this is when Cunningham motions to overturn the judgment on appeal. And it wasn't easy for Cunningham to try and strike back, to go against what was already pre-decided. For a long time, it didn't even look like Cunningham was gonna get the appeal, until the glass ceiling broke, and they got a court date to revisit on February 20th, 2020. Now, the decision is yet to be released. However, based off of audio that was released from the trial, it seems to be heavily leaning towards Miller anyway. And while it was projected to be resolved by June 2020, because this franchise is cursed, there have been more delays. An unfortunate one is that one of the three main judges passed away. And since the decision has to be made by majority vote, it cannot be done with just two judges. So now it seems like the case is going to be going to the Supreme Court, where a new team is going to start digging through all of this wreckage. In addition to that, we are still struggling in the midst of a pandemic, and that has also slowed progression on this case. Ultimately, Friday the 13th is literally stuck in legal limbo. So who owns Jason Voorhees then? Remember, I told you that the two aren't mutually exclusive. It's very important to remember that we actually didn't see the hockey masked killer until part 2, and even then, he doesn't get his iconic mask until part 3. For right now, the trial judge opted not to decide on the ownership of the character Jason Voorhees, which means that later on that will also need to be ironed out, which I'm really hoping will be so much easier to dictate. Because that's one facet. We're talking about everything that has to do with the first film. That's Camp Crystal Lake, that's Pamela Voorhees, that's some weird ocean zombie child that may or may not have been a dream. So is the future bright for Friday the 13th? Not until the rights to Jason are rightfully delegated. Now, if someone does claim ownership over Jason and wins in a lengthy trial, we could see the return of Jason to the big screen void of the Friday the 13th name. But even if Miller ultimately wins, he still only has the rights to part 1, leaving Cunningham with the rights that he came in with, leaving both of these guys with a fractured franchise that no one can move forward with. just diminishing value. And honestly, breaking hearts because I would love to see another Friday the 13th film. And just when you thought it couldn't get any more convoluted, on January 29th, 2021, Cunningham launched an additional lawsuit against Paramount and Warner Brothers over the net profits from the Friday the 13th series. This is completely unrelated to the suit with Miller because our guy Cunningham is a one-trick pony. Cunningham is alleging that Warner Brothers used improper deductions of fees and bonuses, undervalued licenses, an underreporting of merchandising revenue, and paid TV income. So essentially, motherfuckers like, y'all, you jip me. So I'm sorry guys, but it looks like we can look forward to a long and lengthy future where there are zero prospects for a new Friday the 13th film. Miracles do happen. These guys could fucking call each other up and easily be like, yo, let's just squash this and we'll figure it out, like just internally between you. We're boys, right? But they're not boys. That's why they're fucking doing this shit. Until some more news leaks out about this or we get some kind of something letting us know if the video game will ever come back, which it didn't. They just closed down the servers on it. But you know, another video game, who knows? I will let you guys know. I personally would love to see a resolve between these guys. I'm a fan of Friday the 13th and I do want more. But that's one opinion. I want to know yours. What do you think about all this crazy shit? Let me know in the comments. As always, like I always let you know, check out the description of this video. You're gonna find me across my social media. I'm really trying to bump up my game on Instagram, so go down there and add me. If you're on Facebook, join the group HellFire Entertainment Media. Lots of cool stuff going on there. And if you really want to Hercules go the distance, consider becoming a Patreon. If you dig my channel, I have a bunch of other content that's exclusive over there, and you just keep me fed and happy, man. Like the video if I taught you something. And please share the video so that way I might be able to teach something to someone else. You know I'm ride or die for that notification bell, so if you want to see me again, hit that shit. Until next time, peace, video creeps.
Hi, thanks for being my Patreons, and it goes Rebecca Reviews, Kyoko and Corey Stewart, Larry Sherman, and Carwoman, Spooky, Butcher's Grindhouse, Lore X-Core, Six Siren, Michael Andrews, and then there's Mandy, and she's new. Yeah, she's new. I love you all so much and appreciate that you give me cash every month. You give me money every single month.